Hi guys, here we are. 23rd of July. Our adventure online with sketching together is still going on. Is still lasting. So that's good news. And today we are at episode number 40. It's only 40 times that we are together. Twice a week. Monday and Wednesday. 6:30 p.m. here in Paris. So let's wait for people to come. We already have two. That's great. Because today we're gonna do a lot of stuff, interesting stuff. We're gonna change also tools. Okay, we are not gonna use color pencils. Today we're gonna change. We're gonna use a nice black pen, bureau, a Bic. So let's wait just a few minutes. How was your weekend? Hey, see that. I know that everybody, not everybody, but most of you watched the Formula One Grand Prix and saw the big drama at the end, I guess, with Vettel that just went off-road, crashing his Ferrari and just wasting an incredible opportunity. Hey, hi, ciao Marcin, hi Pratyush, how are you? Yeah, big surprise in F Formula One. Besides, nobody thought that Vettel would do that, and that Hamilton would go from 14th place to win the race. So that's also a big thing. 37 degrees, wow. That's a lot. Ciao Aditya, welcome back. Hi Anish, welcome back. I have to refresh my PC because I am on the screen, I'm frozen. Okay, now it's okay. So we are 12 people. We're gonna wait still more 4 more minutes. Okay, just stay with us because soon we're gonna start drawing, sketching. Okay, we're gonna do this together as we do every Monday and every Wednesday. Always, you are asking incredible question. It's creativity, you start sketching. Look, I was just making few lines here. You start sketching, right proportion, and then you get ideas. If you have creativity, you get ideas. I got admission at YED for masters. All right, so you're gonna go to Torino, or maybe you're already there. That's good. So Pratyush, you're gonna see an ex-student of mine who is a teacher there. He's very, very good. His name is Davide Tealdi, and I'm sure that he's going to be your teacher. He's tough, huh? But he's good. So he's a professional designer today, of course. Back then he was a young kid, just like you. So we are 15. Well, you know what? We could even start. And there is one thing I have to ask you, okay? Because I do not see my telephone, because I'm gonna move it up here to be the camera. If there is a frozen image or something is blocked, like sometimes sadly happens, write a message. Tell me, Luciano, it's blocked, do something, okay? So that I realize what's going on, because sometimes I am not aware of it. Mr. Dupree, Luciano Bove, you are incredible designer. Thank you. You like the new PFO. What do you mean, PFO? Hey, Charlie, hi. Welcome back. Ezra, you have to explain to me what is the PFO or PF0. I have no idea. Okay, let's put our camera in the right spot. All right. Hi, Kostub. PFO is a UFO, yeah. Non-identified objects. Okay, so can you see well like that? Do you like this is a new, basically almost a new view? If everything is fine with you, tell me. So what did I do? What do we do today? We're gonna use just a pen, okay? Because sketching with pen is important. I know that we have done a lot of beautiful sketches that were done with those nice, beautiful pencils, you see? But now it's time to use a pen. So, and that when we do a pen, when we use a pen, of course, we have to understand that there is a slightly different technique to get shades and reflections and also line quality, okay? And then don't forget that in the technique, the most important thing is the cross etching. Okay, the cross etching is what it's done here. And I will show you and then we will do this really well together. Can you see the detail here? So that's the cross etching where we are crossing lines, okay? Then the way we do it, it's gonna create a sort of a shading. Why a pen? Because you know, you can sketch but automobili Pininfarina, I'm not in Pininfarina, Ezra. What are you talking about? In Pininfarina, I have my ex-students that today are managers there. I am in Renault. I work for Renault, the French car maker. Okay, so always was asking, but why are we using a pen? Because you can see that a lot of designers use a pen. And also in school, a lot of students use pen. But a pen has to be used correctly, unless it's going to be a mess. Just like when we use a pencil and we do not know how to use a pencil. I'm inspired from you and I made my channel. Please check it out. All right, Carbon, Mr. Carbon. We'll see this later. Okay, so I use always a good paper, okay? The paper is always marker pad. And then I use just a black Bic, okay? Very banal Bic, okay? Bic pen. Okay, so when we use a pen, okay, you see I'm going very light and you can see that the line, it looks pretty nice. Now I'm going to show you a little bit closer to the camera because I want you to understand the line quality. We have to be careful about that. Look at that. It's kind of nice. It's not so bad. You know, it's kind of straight also. That's what we want. So this means we have control, okay? The right movement, you see? I'm moving my arm, you know, like on a guide. I'm not doing this unless I do banana cars. We don't want that. We want to have straight lines to be a straight line. And if we want a parallel line, then we'll make a parallel line or almost parallel just next to it. Look. They are almost parallel, okay? This paper, Cedar, you're asking me a technical question. 75 grams, Cedar, 75, okay? 75 grams. And my monitor once again is not showing me. So, okay. All right, so now let's make a crossover, okay? Because everybody likes crossover, me too. It's a fashion. We start of course with a simple exercise which is a side view, okay? And I want to position the line work I did before in a way that it's gonna be a sort of a guide for me, okay? So we make a nice big wheel, okay? The other one we make it here. Then this is the center of the wheel, and then that's where we're gonna start our car because it's a very high car from the ground, right? This is just to start so that we know that the right proportions gonna be set up, all right? So this is it, and then of course we have to think about the front end, okay? The distance here, the front overhang, the rear overhang, okay? Which we're gonna place it here because the paper is almost finished, so we're gonna have a short overhang. Okay, I'm just making the block, all right? Then we have a sort of a side, okay, body, okay, this is one, and then we have a cabin which is on top. It's gonna be that up there, and in the cabin we can do something almost very sporty, all right? Why don't pretty sure, could you tell me admission fee of YED? Always, that's very simple. Why don't you go on their website so you can go and discover everything. So, and then we can do something like I don't know, like a very modern, sporty crossover. So we can make a sort of almost a more vertical windshield line, and then we just tape down the top so that it's very aerodynamic, okay? And then of course we make a rear, sort of a rear light, a rear window, and then we have here the main, okay, the main dimension. Then we put the wheels on the other side, okay? And because the car is very high, no, the car is really high because this is a very big crossover, you know, then the shadow, then putting here, it's gonna be pushed a little bit down there under the car. So it's gonna start here, it's gonna end up here, you see? Look, this is to give a depth, okay? So we feel the car is really higher, you know? Okay, good. So now let's make something modern, as we said. So we're gonna do something that is a little, I don't know, like a Land Rover, you know? Then we can make a big wheel arch, okay? Because this car is big wheels, so we need space. Besides, it makes more believable everything. And then we can just have a nice line like that, okay? That is kind of and as I'm doing that, I'm starting, you see, I'm starting to make some sections, okay? I'm starting to clean up few lines so that I start to get my idea what I'm gonna do. And as you said, you asked before, how do we create a car? You know, it starts like that. I still don't know. I still don't know what's gonna come out, but I kind of like the lines. You know, the proportion, the things are coming out. And then when I see those lines, I say, but why don't we do this here, for example? Look, this little detail here in the back. I'm gonna show you in a second. This one, you see? Look, it's nice here. You see, before we had just a block, and now I created this little shoulder, okay, with this section coming out, coming in. This gives a very dynamic section, and is helping the car to feel like the car is very dynamic, going forward and not backward. All right. Hi, Jess, Fink, Jensen. Ciao. Aditya, yes. My mistake. Yeah, Luca Borgogna. Because you know, Luca has been my first student in Istituto Europeo di Design in Torino when I was head of the car design department over there. I was head for 8 years, and Luca was the first student. Okay, now that we have done this, I just go back on my belt line here, and we have to decide whether we leave everything kind of smooth and clean like that, or if we're gonna do something different. And I'm thinking now, I don't know, we might maybe we can do something like I don't know, like this, and then just a little small, you see, just a small step, you see, maybe the little small step there, it's helping the sketch, the side view. It looks kind of nice. Chaitanya, please stop spamming, okay? Because I have the rights here to mask what you do, and I mask everything. So you cannot do spam here. And if you keep on doing it, I'm gonna block you. Chaitanya, Patre, do you understand? Please, did you understand what I said? I'm gonna block you. So it's useless to play like that. It's stupid. All right? Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to us. So now that I have this, I know that here I have a sort of section, okay? And I want to do something a little bit magical, okay? On the side. I'm gonna take advantage of this line to create something. You see? Look, now we have this little detail, okay? And to me, this little detail goes really this one. So those are two details that are very coherent, cohesive with the whole car, all right? And then I take that line to create that front end section change there, you see? In this area, we can imagine we have sort of a grill, modern LED lights, stuff like that. We will see this later. Right? Yeah, yeah, it looks like a Range Rover to me too, Nisha, this is true. No, it's not a great design. It's just something to show you. It is to show you. And now, look what I do. I make a line that's coming down in the back. A little bit. Okay? And here we put a sort of a tiny spoiler. All right? With this line coming down like that, it's very nice. So we have one door here, one door here, and then we can imagine we have another door here, like that. All right. So basically now we have our proportions, okay, and we have a start of design. This is a start. Okay, now, yeah, it's a sort of a floating roof. Yeah, you're right, Cedar. That's nice. Besides, it's not conventional, which is better. So now that we did that, here I want to use something like that. You see, because this is like a light detail, we have to imagine there is a sort of a detail there, and then okay, and then I did also a little section change here, and maybe this is too high, so maybe I can do something like that. You see? Now it's better. There is a better balance between the front and the rear part. Hey, I have a query like when making a three-ended front side view, what I'm sketching wrong is the front fender. You have to like sketch of a car. Okay. The trick of using the wheels. Yes, Edra, I used before, now I don't do it anymore. Hi, Amir. I don't do it. I don't do it anymore because it comes. It just comes out. This is a huge wheel, okay? But in reality, see, the right proportion in height is always 2 wheels and a half for a boxy car, and the car is a little bit short because I don't have space on my page. But we should have had probably this part a little bit more in the front, just a little bit more. But because this is a 20 inches wheel, it's really big. But if you do this smaller, then you find the right proportion. Yeah. Okay, now that I did that, we have to start thinking about what we're gonna do to make this sketch nice, okay? And because this is a sketch, okay, don't forget, we are doing a sketch. We are not doing a rendering or a nice illustration like we used to do in the past few weeks, okay? This is going to be kind of quick sketch, okay? So, for example, the tire. You know, I do just little things here to give an idea of a tire of a 4x4, big 4x4, okay? Those are little things, okay? It's nothing really it's not a real detail, but it gives the idea that this car has those big rubber wheels, okay? You see the detail? So what do you think? You see, just doing that, you already have a feel, you can already imagine the wheel. And that's the good thing. Before exploring these answers to create mood boards. Yeah, we do mood boards, Jess. Yes, of course we do. This is at the very, very beginning when we have to get inspiration. And also when we have to understand better the marketing, the market, the market for which we try to, to create something. The market, the reference market. Then I do just a light line like that, a little bit shaded, okay, about what's gonna be left of the real aluminum alloy wheel, okay, so they get for the proportions. You see? So I leave a little bit of space there. You see, that's the rubber band, the tire, the tire here, and all this part inside is gonna be the wheel design. Yeah, to learn how to sketch using pen, because I can start sketching with a piece of paper. Yeah, exactly. All right. Jess has a nice question. Yeah, I answer Aditya to Jess. I said that yes, we are inspired by mood boards because we want to make sure that we understand our market of reference. Okay. So now what I did on the wheel in the back, I will do the same thing on the front. So I just go back with my pen, all right, and there I start. Okay, we'll try to make it nice like we did the other on the other wheel. Okay, And everything, it's very important that we understand a little bit of the section, okay? Even if it's not super precise, it's not a big deal. And then I go here and I go here, okay? And I do also in this case more or less the same size of the wheel design space, all right? Okay, so you see, now we have something that is in good balance. Okay. So once we did that, what do we start doing? Now we start the shading, okay? And now there is another thing I want to show you, which is very important for the shadow, for the cast shadow. It's what I have done here. Look. Look how the shadow of this part of the car on the ground, I push it forward. You know, that goes well with this center part, you see? And also in the back. So that the wheel comes out a little bit, you see? Because this is a perspective, it's 1 point perspective. And it's really showing that the car is high and there is a big shadow on the ground that is going a little bit more in the front. Did you get that? Hey Fadi, the mood board is a collection of pictures that you find on Google image or on Pinterest. All sort of pictures, photos of architecture, people, gadgets, stuff that put together describe, okay, describe your market or your marketing type. All right, so that's what it is. And you can see it in car design universities or product design schools presentations where they put the mood board first, or like in portfolios. When you go online on Behance, you will find some portfolios that the first pages have a lot of pictures. That's the mood board to define and explain the reference client, the client type. And after, once you understand that, then you can sketch something for that type of person. All right? I hope I was clear. Yeah, good. Good, Jess. That's a very good thing you did. Give advice. It's very important. Sharing. Sharing knowledge. That's what we're trying to do tonight here. Okay, so now I stop doing detailing, okay? It's not important anymore. I just start putting few lines, which are the reflections, okay? I'm not gonna draw the whole reflections. I'm just gonna put the line work for reflection according to the shapes. This is a very simple cylinder on the side, so this guy is gonna be kind of simple. Okay. Now there is one thing I want to tell you so that you don't forget. Is that when we make our reflection, don't forget that this is, all this is a big cylinder. It's a huge cylinder, okay? It's a very simple car, very simple section, okay? So if I make a section here, here, or here, it's a big cylinder, all right? So the reflection, okay, it's gonna come down here and come down here. It never follows on the windshield, never. Because this is a cylinder and this is a cone. conic shape. So it's a mixing of the two surfaces, of the two basic shapes. Cylinder with a cone. In the back is the same thing. And the reflection will never follow the part that goes around. All right? The reflections is stupid. It's just gonna stop before. Always. Okay? So that's why my line is here. Because standing here, the front in top view, it's gonna turn, of course, you know, to make the section of the car. So starting from here, it's going over like that. So my reflection will end up there. It's not gonna follow. The same thing in the back. Look, because from here to here, in top view, we have the car that does this. And here does that. You understand? Okay, good. Now that I explained that, and that we have our reflection, I'm gonna start putting the shading and the cross etching technique. Now, one thing very important for you. What we're gonna do now, it's gonna be following the same rules of every illustration, which means composition on page. Well, we have a nice composition. Background, we will add a background after. And focal point, don't forget focal point, okay, which is the interest point spot of the whole side view. That's very important. You always must have a focal point. All right? Okay, a focal point you get because we put more details, but also because we take care a lot more about the shading, the shadow, the shading in terms of light, contrast. All right? So we have to make sure that we really see the real thing in there. Okay. So, first of all, let's start from the bottom part, the easy part. And as you can see, I start using this type of inclination of my lines. That's important. You see, I didn't start straight. I went inclinated. Why? Because later on, when I'm gonna cross etching, I will do the opposite, and then I will create the shading. Okay, so that's important. So when we start, we must more or less know how we're gonna start. And why. And I try to make really nice lines, really nice parallel lines. Look, it's not a problem if it's not too precise on the border, okay, on the outline. But what is really important is that those lines are parallel. Look, I'm gonna show you. Can you see? It looks already nice. I hope you can see the detailing. Okay, so I continue, all right? So we do the first layer, which is we want to make sure that the whole cast shadow of the car on the ground and the shadow of the car itself, it's kind of dark. This will help also to push the car better in front of our eyes so that we can see better. Okay, I'm keep on doing it. I try to go a little bit fast, okay, so that you don't get annoyed. Because generally, when I do this at home or at work, when it happens, I take a little bit more time to make sure that I don't make mistakes. So here I'm trying to go a little bit faster. What is important between us is you understand the principle, so that you can repeat those principles on your own. Okay, so here we go. Look, it's nice. Do you like it? Let me know. This one is not so bad. But there is one thing I really don't like is this thing here. So you know what? I make a modification of the design. Why not? Yeah, it's better there. It's better. It was too big. And we can put the rear light also now, you see? Yeah, it's better like that. It's nice. Okay. Now that I did that, I'm gonna start applying my cross-hatching technique, which is the cross-hatching technique typical of architects and artists. Okay, it's something that I learned at school. When shading, I always end up making hooks at the end of my lines. Ah, yeah, the hooks are those ones, something like that. Jess, let me know, because then I'll tell you how we used to call this in Art Center. Thank you, Ezra. Thank you. Okay, now I'm gonna start doing the dark part, and I'm gonna do this. Be careful. Dark here, light here, okay? So we're gonna go from dark to a light environment, okay? This is about the value that I've decided to do. Okay, dark, light. So dark, light. Let's do it. So I cross edge. And I'm doing this dark because this is really the darkest part of the car. It's really the far away shadow. So we don't really see details in it. It's all kind of black. Especially this one underneath the car. The lower surface of the car here. All right, let's do it. And now I'm gonna go, of course, a little bit lighter, no? Because we said dark here, light here. So let's see the effect. I still do the cross hatching, okay? I still do it. But I'm gonna do it in a different way. Then this part, inside, this one has to be also dark. Because this is the wheel well. Over there it's gonna be really dark. I mean, come on, there is, unless we put a light in there. So let's take advantage of it. And if there is a little mistake, we can always fix it, okay? The line was a little bit crooked here, so I'm just fixing it. Okay, so look. Ok, Jack, don't worry. Va bene, non c'è problema. You can always see the video once it's finished, okay? You'll find it here, no problem. It's P40, product and cars. Now we do the cars, after I'll do a product. So can you see? Now we have the tile is in the first reading plane, and all the dark area, it's back. We can see that now. Great. Now I will do the same thing here. On the side glass reflection. So I do my base, okay? Look. All right, like that. Okay, and now where there is the line here, I'm gonna put a little light line, very light, because it looks like it is our B pillar, okay? And here some light lines for the C pillar, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is to give you the feeling of transparency through the glass. And that's also something nice, cute that we can do. Can put neon lights in the wheel wells. Yeah, you sure? Why not? We could, yes. So, now I'm doing a little detail. I will show you after close, okay? So that you see how it looks, it feels transparent, okay? Okay, let's see. Look. Yeah, I'm asking. Yeah, of course. I don't do stuff that I don't want to show you the creativity. I can't. Okay, so but the most important thing is the technique. So here we have a feeling of transparency. You see? Hi Eddie. Hartsville. Ciao. Eddie, where are you from? Curiosity, just curiosity. Okay, so now that we did that, all right, let's take care of this part here. I just put few lines, okay, here, and few lines here to do what we would do with pastel, you see? Instead of putting the pastel with the cotton, I just put few lines, you see? Look, it looks like it's turning. The surface is turning, but it's just a series of lines that are put really close together. I'm trying to put it close so that you can see the detail. I hope you can. And that's enough to give you the feeling that that hood is really turning. All right, New York. Yeah, it's true. I'm sorry. There are a lot of people that are messaging me, so I don't remember all the names. New York. In New York, I have lots of friends. I have also my ex-girlfriend there, living there. And I was in New York, for 10 days, a long time ago. And I was just going by walking, visiting walking. Yeah, the Big Apple. Okay, so here let's make a detail here, which is important to give a feeling of the design, okay? Okay, look, the black thing here, it shows now that we have a front, okay? Okay, little detail there. Okay, and another thing we can do here now, we put a little bit of reflection here, like that. Look, very simple, without exaggerating. And I'm cross-hatching, okay? Okay, now there's one thing very important, okay? Look, I put a line here, because to me this is a surface that is coming up like that, okay? This surface. So when I make the reflection and my lines, I try not to go on that surface. I don't want to, all right? Because if I put the lines over that surface here, then that surface will feel flat. But I want to show that that surface is picking up the light because it's like that. So that's why I'm not going there, all right? I hope it's clear to you. While give a 3D feeling like the side is gonna pop up from the paper. Yeah. Yeah, it is too short. You're right, Lids. But it is short also because I don't have more space. And I want to draw a little bit big. Sorry. But it's okay. Next time we'll do better. Promise. And I put details here, you see? Look, I'm putting a little detail there, and we have another section in the section, which is nice detail. Those are little details, and I have a nice mosquito that is flying over my drawing. All right, so now there is another thing we have to do. It's this one here. Here we're gonna go and we're gonna make another time. We're gonna apply the shading. Why? Because this section down here, it's coming under the car, okay? And that's the bend here. So we're gonna do it, all right? No problem. And of course I cross edge again. Then I make that line a little bit stronger. You see, it looks better. And because the two, I show you, look, those two are very similar, this must be a little bit darker. So now I'm trying to play with surfaces and with darker light to make sure that I have a feeling of the three reading plans, okay? The darkest, the medium, and the light one. That's the only way to have a three-dimensional feeling on our sketch. So let's go back, okay, let's have fun. I just take my pen and I make it darker. And of course I'm always cross-etching. Okay, so let's check again. It looks better now. Don't you think so? Leads, I don't know. It looks like, to be honest, I don't know. I just sketched something simple. That's what I want to do. A simple sketch to show the technique. Yeah, the mosquito likes the sketch. It's coming, looks at it, and then it flies back. This real shape helpful for India to come under sub for me. Yeah, I know. I know, Siddharth. I know the rule that you have in India. That's why we also doing always cars and projects that are below 4 meters long. Now let's do something here, okay? Now this is a 4x4, but we can make a nice rack on top of the top. No, why not? Should we try to do something? I don't know. I'll try, okay? If it's ugly, I'm sorry. Let me see. Let me see what I'll do. What I'm doing. Maybe I'm ruining everything. Or maybe not. Okay? So, make a nice strong line here. lighter line on top, okay? And then I make this dark, because those are the feet, the supports of the rack. You see? Look! Oh, it's not bad. It's believable. What do you think? I kind of like it. Okay, so now that we did that, let's put some highlights. Now, how do we do highlights when we have just a pen sketch? Yeah, you could also use the gouache. I saw people doing that. But I don't do it that way. I do differently. I do this, look. I do my ellipses like it was the gouache ellipse, and I put it in the right spot so that we have a feeling of highlight. Yeah, the handles. No handles. In this session with me, no rear view mirrors, no door handles, no little details. They are useless at this stage. That's why. Okay, so here let's make this dark. Because there is a hole there. That's why it's hard. It's dark. Okay? And then let me see. I'm trying to make a sort of design of the wheel. Okay. Let me see if something interesting comes out. Generally, I'm not so good in doing that, but let's try anyway. Okay, so the pen became really nice and juicy, which is good. It feels good. Okay, you see? So this is a kind of wheel. It's not really beautiful. So I'm making a little bit darker in those areas, okay? Because those are really, really in shadow. And it's interesting because you can make some interesting details. I'm going to show you. I complete and then I will show you. Some details become really interesting to do. You see, when you see here some details I've done inside, then you have a feeling of three-dimensional spokes with shadow. You see? And also the tire, it gets that feeling of, you see? Of three-dimensional which I'm going to do it. Look, if I do that, look at this detail here, down here. You see inside here. So you have a feeling of a darker light. You know, the light is coming here, the shadow is under. And all this makes a really nice composition. You see? But you know what? The full cup, we could put it. Why not? I think it's a very good idea. You know what? I'm joking. Okay, so let's make the highlights. Okay, one is here. All right? Second, third. You see? Do you have a feeling? Do you have a feeling of the highlights? Okay, so now that we did this one, I think that I'm going. All right. Oh no, wait, we forgot one thing, very important. It's a sort of background. Okay, so because we have this, I think that we have to do a little bit of cross etching. Okay, like that. Look, I'm trying to be very parallel, or as always, with my lines, so that there is a sort of order in the lines. You see? And then, of course, those lines, we have to keep them also in the back here, because there is like a big thing behind the car. So I'm trying to replicate, okay? Okay, so do you see? It looks nice. It doesn't look bad. Not at all. But we still have to do something. Hi, Babu. Ciao. Leads, yeah, that's my job. I'm a car designer. Okay, now that we did that, I want to clean up those lines. Okay, some lines we really need them better. Look, much, much better like that. And also this one. Oops. Okay, so now we take the line here. Okay, just fixing that line. All right. So now that we did this, we can sign it and move on to another sketch. All right. So this is the work of today for the car, okay? Now we have still, I guess, 30 minutes, a little bit more. And if you like, I can make we can make some product sketching, okay? Thank you, Jensen. Thank you. I hope you like it. Yeah, I know Jensen likes it. He just said that he likes it, which is nice. Thank you. Hey guys, I want to tell you one thing, huh? Don't forget, because I want to show you that if you want to buy me a beer, you can do it here. Don't forget, you want to buy a beer to me? Go there, just do it, whatever you want. I'm happy. Okay? Okay, so now, you know what? Now we're going to, okay, this was the start. You know, this was the start, and that's how we ended up. And I have to tell you that also those lines are not bad, even if they are a little bit rough, let's say, you know, but still you can, you have a good feeling of the proportions here. And of course after it's something a little bit more traditional. Okay, so this is done, and now let's imagine that we are doing, I don't know, a lamp. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you very much. Thank you. So let's do this. I don't know. I do first a side view, okay? Okay, I start doing something like that. And I don't know, can it be a lamp, this? Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe it's not so nice, maybe it's too elegant. A little bit narrow here, and then it comes down again. And then it becomes the base. This could be something interesting. So, let me do the sketch. Let's see. I clean up the lines, okay? And then I ask myself, what if here we add something? You know, like for example, you know, a sort of, there is always a hole there, of course, but I mean something that can give a direction to the light. Yeah, I'm trying to do lamps now. We'll see. So let's Let's leave it like that. And I clean up the lines because I want some elegant lines. So, okay, so did you see? I start putting a little bit of shading that it gives a feeling of the form. You see? Little things that I do because I want to feel. I want to start feeling the form. And I do the same thing here. And I'm doing few details down here to show you, to show that this is a metallic arm, okay, or support. Of course, this is a quick sketching, okay? But if you do product design, you can use this type of sketching to make sure that you get a nice, nice sketch, nice feeling. You can explore design, creativity, stuff like that. For example, here we could imagine, you see, that we cut this in several parts, like a real abajur, you know. What do you think so far? So, okay. But if I had to do a quick sketch, a real quick sketch, okay? So I take this one again, okay? And now I do the same thing here. I don't know why I'm putting this stuff on top, you know, and then we can do something that is not symmetrical. And this one, it's gonna be the way it is. So very long, very gradually long. You see, I'm really trying to sketch the reflections to make it look like liquid. You see? And then I can do that. I can make this a little bit thicker. And if I don't like that, I can always try to do something that is and now look what I'm doing. I'm just making a perspective, top view of another lamp. Set of ellipses, of course. Okay. Quick shading, very quick. You see? Now, the shadow is coming from here, so it's gonna go there. So if this is the shadow, you see? Yes, Oasis, yes it is. Look. Now this is the lamp, which is like a sphere. So here we have the reflection of the lamp, and here the reflection like the sphere on the side. You see? Now that we did that, we can imagine here we have a sort of a button, okay? For the on and off. Okay, so now that we did this, and I kind of like this, I'm gonna put a sort of a background, okay, just around this element, because that's what I like the most. Shouldn't the shadow being all for the edge if the light is from the top? Or from... No, because the light usually the best way to sketch to make sure that you don't get confused with the cast shadow is when the light source is on right, okay, and the shadow goes on the left. It's a little bit in angle, okay, a little bit on top in angle. So that's the way we sketch cars too, so that you know that the shadow goes on the side. The object stands out there, and this makes everything very dynamic. But this is why, that's one of the reasons I like this technique, because you see, with this technique, you can do a lot of interesting effects that with the pencil you cannot do. You can't. Okay, so now I'm going to do this center part, okay, which is our background, and I'm going to do a little bit the way we did before, but look how I do it. I just go over the sketch in the back, okay? Why? Because I want those two sketches to go back. I don't want them to be important anymore, because I like this one, and that's the one I try to sell. So I just draw over. No big deal. Now that I did once, I'm gonna do it twice, of course, because I had to fix the lines. You see? And everything has to be free, because freehand, because I have to have a loose effect. We don't want to have something is too precise. There is no fun. Okay, now that we did everything like that, now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to do some cross hatching like this, okay? And I start from this bottom part, because this is the darkest area, also with the shadow, okay? And what I'm building is simply a shading. That's what I want to do. But it's gonna be a loose shading. You see, look at the end how I'm gonna do it. Look, I am really loose here. Here I'm kind of precise, and then as I move down, it becomes loose. Okay, so now the outline. Now it's time to clean up the outline. We want to clean up because we want to make sure that the outline of the object is nice. We can really see it. We can really understand the object. Of course, nothing is precise, but it looks good. And that's what it counts. So, what do you think? Quick sketching. All by pen. Yes, Liz, I used to do digital, but of course, because I became design manager, I stopped because I have designers that work with me. So I'm not doing this anymore. But my opinion on digital design is that the digital sketching, illustration, Photoshop, and all that stuff, it's good, but it should be done after that people learn how to play with the pen, the pencil, pastels, and stuff like that. Unless, believe me, it's not gonna be good. Okay, so this is one. And now we're gonna do another one, which is gonna be the last one. I don't know, I have my glasses here, right? Just in front of me. So let's imagine, I don't know. I'm trying to get the proportions, okay? I never draw glasses before, but we're gonna try eyeglasses. Let's try, okay? So I'm just finding the proportions now. I don't know if this is correct, but looks okay to me. You see, now we have a sort of a beginning of a sketch, okay, of glasses. Look, and now in transparency, I can do also, you know, those elements, the side support. I forgot how to call those in English. And we're gonna do them kind of modern. You ever drawn motorbikes? No, I never done motorbikes. I'm sorry. It's not my thing. I'm sure I'm not good at it. I have a very good friend who draws motorbike for job, and he's the design manager in England for the Indian motorbike brand. I forgot the name, the classical one. They just opened a new design center in England, and my friend very often goes to Chennai because it is in Chennai that they. Okay, so let me do a little bit of shading, okay, like this, for example. Okay, so look, we can say that if you want to do, if you want to have fun with sunglasses or whatever, we could imagine to do several, okay, like this one. So we can do another one here, all right. This time we can do them, I don't know, a little bit like that, and then we can just imagine a strange shape. Why not? So you see, you can imagine a lot of different things. Maybe insane also. Why not? Like those sunglasses here. You see? So you can imagine something like that, or maybe we can imagine a sort of wait. You know, something that is really out of mind. Maybe it is something that you can put on your head, okay? So that you know, you can imagine a lot of things. Then, of course, we can change views, okay? And we can imagine. So it's a little bit like drawing cars. You have always a center line, okay? You see? But I don't look like Robin Williams, not at all. I mean, he's a great man. He was a great man, really. Imagine something like that. Can you imagine? All dark. Why not? You know, this goes on top of your nose. And this is like a bridge. All made, all structure, you know? Maybe we can do like that. Look, look. I'm still making design there. Look. I'm adding. You see? Now we have a structure up there. In something matte, it's when you don't show reflections. So it's just the shading of a surface that is not reflecting any object. For example, I'll give you an example. But for that, I'm not gonna use my pen. I'm gonna take a nice blue pencil. Okay, where is it? I'm searching for the blue. There you go. Okay. So, if this is a cylinder, okay, all right. So let's make the shadow. Now, let's make the outline of our cylinder. Do you see it? You see our cylinder. Okay, light is coming from here. All right, the shadow is going over there. So let's make this surface matte surface, okay? Matte surface. But upcoming interview program dates. Bush, Nike, what type of question you asking me now? You don't realize you are completely off topic. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's do it. All right, and this surface here, it's gonna be like that. Okay, so did you get it? Now I will show you the same one, okay, but with reflections. All right, because so you understand the difference. Okay, leads, look, I redo the same exercise. Here I take my cylinder, the same cylinder, and then we put the shadow. The light is always coming from here, same thing. Let's do the shadow. Okay. Wait a second, because I need to make the point to sharp my point, unless it's not gonna come right. Okay, so because this is a reflecting surface, we have a reflection here. And then we have another reflection up here. We have the reflection of the shadow on this surface, which is this one. Generally, it's like that. All right? And let's make this reflection. Okay. Now that we did the reflections, we have to do the core, which means the sky. Unless there is no sky there, we must put the sky. What's creating this shading up here, you see? This, it goes dark light, dark light. That's the sky concentration that creates, that shows the radius. And here in this case, because there is a reflection, reflection goes dark, light, dark, because it's too small here. And then that's how it is. Look, now I put the sky. You see? And now it looks like chrome. You see? Reflection of horizon, sky, reflection of horizon on the other side of the object. Did you get it? You see? I hope it was kind of easy to explain that one. And I just published here this weekend how to make the sphere leads. If you want, you can go and check it, because I used chalk, pastel, Prismacolor, markers. There's a lot of extra work and it looks really nice. It was a nice nice illustration. And very soon I will publish the cylinder, because I have this already done. Okie doke. Well, you know what? I think that for today, dear friends, we are done. So I'm gonna just take I hope that I'm correctly. No, I'm upside down. I'm gonna vomit like that. I never learn. I'm gonna vomit like that. Okay, so let me get back. You know, we did two sketches are really nice today. Kind of nice. This one, this is cool. This is cool because with this one you can apply your creativity, and with this you can see how nice and fun can be in using all those detailing, sketching, cross-hatching and stuff like that. You see? Look at the nice details, focal point and everything else. And then I just showed you that we can do some products. Here we have a few lamps, or maybe, why not, some glasses. I know that this is not professionally done. I'm not a product designer. But this shows one thing, that if you learn how to sketch with your hands, freehand, you can sketch about anything, all right? So, see you next Wednesday, all right? The 25th, late evening, for you, for some of you, very, very late. Thank you very much. If you like, share the video, and if you want, I gave you the link to buy me a beer. Ciao, friends, and thank you. Bye-bye.